All right, so here is a board that I didn't think I was going to use. I was originally thinking I'd use 1x4 out of ash for the legs, but I'm thinking I'd like to do 2x2 out of ash for the legs. But I don't have any 2+ inch thick boards, and I'd have to use a sawmill, and it's late. It's going to rain all day tomorrow, and I'd like to play a little bit, so I think I'm going to make 1.5 inch, because this is 1.5. So we're going to make 1.5 by 1.5 inch boards for legs. So this has, I think we're going to cut this off here, run it through. We got that set to 4 3/4, so we're going to rip the board this way, and then when we turn it over, you can see that it has a pretty big split on this side. So we're going to take off some on this side, and then we're going to make 1 3/4, so I can plane it down a bit and see how much we get out of this board. So I would need 4 2-foot long pieces for the legs. So this piece, and maybe I'll do that piece that has a big split in it too, since I don't need that much. All right, so we made it 1.5 by 1 3/4, so we can throw it through the planer a little bit. And these are our scrap pieces. Kind of interesting where that split was. It didn't show all the way through. All right, this is, I get 20 inches out of it, but that down there is too gnarly, so I'm not gonna be able to use it. So I do have this. I cut a rough cut 2x4. I think I'm gonna cut this to 1 3/4, rip it to 1 3/4, and then I think I can get 3 legs out of this. All right, I actually can get, this is 43. This is going to be junk because it's all kind of knotted up here. So we're going to cut here, scrap this part, run this through the planer. I actually get 2 legs out of this, and then this piece is probably too long. So I might have to cut 1/20 out of it, a little bit longer, and then run that through the planer too. People don't believe me, but ants were crawling out of these as I was going through the planer. That's why I like to do a bug cycle, but I did not, so I really don't like to bring bugs into my house. Okay, we got 3 lengths, and it should be 1.5, 1.5 by 1.5. Okay, so we got enough for our legs. All right, so this should be, I think we made it like 7/8. I think that's what the other ones are. It has a split here, but I think I can get 3.5 inches out of it somehow. I need 2 20-inch long pieces for the sides. So that's 40, so I think I should be able to. But that also means that I cut these wrong. I don't need these to be 20, these need to be 24. So I only get 3 legs out of this. All right, well, there's an error of the ways. Okay, we emptied our vacuum out, and that was wood chips from what we did today and yesterday. Okay, not that piece, but these are now the 24-inch legs, 2-foot legs. Gonna go like that. All right, I think I'll cut these to the right length. Okay, so that's 3 foot, that's 3.5 foot. I'm liking 3.5 foot, so I'm gonna cut those pieces at 3.5. So 3.5 foot, outside is 20 inches. Legs are 2 foot. We're gonna do some bracing on the legs. I think a toe screw, and then a screw this way, and then a bolt, and a bolt, probably a bolt on this side. And this will be secured, so the top part will be a frame. The legs can bolt on with the supports. The legs of the supports will bolt. These 4 separate legs, a separate top, and then I have to figure out what to do in the middle again. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 legs cut. We have the pieces we need for our base, and we have pieces cut. I'm missing one. Here should be another one. For the leg supports, I would like to start putting this together. Before I do, I would like to route the edges just so there isn't sharp edges, because they are my grandchildren and I don't want to have to take splinters out of their fingers, and I don't want them to be hurt in the first place. So my thought was maybe I could like route like from here out, but leave this a nice square corner. But I think I'm just gonna route all the edges. It'll be what it is, instead of trying to be finicky about which edges should, like maybe this edge shouldn't get routed because it's going to butt up flush, but then I'd have to sand it because it never comes out flush. So maybe I'm just going to route. So let's try routing. Okay, here we go. So that came out pretty good. I think maybe what I'll do then is just with a sanding block, just run over all of this to clean up the final pieces, and then we could assemble. So let's do the other sections that we need. All right, you know, I routed all the edges, so now it's kind of hard to line up. So I'm going to clamp this board here, and hopefully that will help get everything lined up. And we're going to screw that in and get moving. All right, we have our base together. It will need some supports to keep it square, but I'm not exactly sure how that is going to work yet, because I do need to get the leg in there that has to get bolted this way, a cross piece here, a cross piece there to support the legs, and this is the bottom, so on the other side. So I cut, I think it's like 1.25 inch pine. I'm gonna plane that down to 3/4. I got a mid support, so I think it has enough support the length. I will have to cut out a spot for the water pans, so I'll need some supports there. But this will be on the bottom. So then somehow I need to get cross bracing in somewhere, which I'm not sure where. So I think the next thing is to get the legs and the supports routed, sanded, and then we'll assemble the legs and then turn it over and see what the top's gonna look like. Okay, we're doing surgery on the leg. We got the leg bolted in, and we got this brace clamped in place. We're going to put a toe screw in, and then I'm going to screw from the back side too. Okay, so we got this brace screwed this way and screwed this way. This brace is screwed this way and it is screwed from the back side. So this just has to get bolted like this bolt, and then that will be seems like a pretty sturdy type of leg. Okay, so we're always conscious we can't have long bolts like this sticking out, even though it will be covered. So I think I need like 2.5, and then maybe we'll use a double nut washers and have washers and then double nuts just to protect the threads, or protect the children from the threads, is my thought. Otherwise I gotta like counter bore things. I'm thinking maybe I'll just use double nuts, or use a one of those self-locking nuts. All right, we got one leg in. We got 3 more to do. All right, 4 legs attached to the base. Woo. All right, so bolt. They're not tightened yet. It's not the tightest. I might need another bolt in here. I have to see. But I have to go get bolts. So I put in bolts in some of the holes, but I'm anxious to turn over and see what it looks like right side up. And then I either have to order 2 1/4 or go out and buy 2.5-inch quarter 20s. I don't want excessive stuff for kids' fingers to get hurt. All right, survey says. So I first have to get all the bolts in and tighten it up, but it is kind of wobbly, but it doesn't also have bolts. So I might have to put a bolt in this way down here a little lower, like over in here. We will see, but I still have to put cross pieces here for a bottom shelf, and I need a cross piece on this end because the top is going to slide into some slots, so there will be some additional support for the legs, and I do have to figure out how to keep this part square, but I guess the next thing is to get the bolts in there, and then we have to work on getting that on the top. Let's have a quick look. Okay, with the 7-inch pine board that I was going to plane down to 3/4. So maybe 3 boards across. Then I have to make a cutout for this, and then somehow reinforce where the cutout is, and then put something on the ends, because this top I want to come off, and I'm going to put a different top on for a different project. It doesn't have that hole, just going to be a plain top. So I want this to be able to sit on there and come off. So I have to, like, it's not going to be screwed to that frame.